Well, hello everybody and welcome to the 8K Pavilion here, hosted by the 8K Association. We are very happy to have you here. We're going to be talking about a very exciting topic, 8K integration. My name is Juan Reyes and I am the Executive Director of the 8K Association. And as part of this, some of the topics we're going to touch on today are the key aspects of the 8K ecosystem and workflow. We're going to talk about the industry moving to Ultra HD cables and devices, the latest development in 8K compatible products, and the need for CI dealers to train, their customers, to train the workflows about, 8K integration. And so before we get started, before I introduce my panel, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about where we are in regards to the 8K ecosystem. Take a look at this slide here, and it shows you all of the different segments of the 8K ecosystem, starting with content creation. Obviously, this is a very important aspect. We need content. And as you can see here, we've got a long list of content creators. On the capture side, all of the major manufacturers of cameras are supporting 8K and higher resolutions. We've got some of them demonstrated here with the Astro camera over there on the side. On the editing area, of course, all of the major applications are supporting 8K and greater resolution workflows. On the encoding side, obviously one of the most important things is taking all of that data, compressing it down to a more usable side. There's been some great advancements there. We've got Spin Digital here, one of the encoding companies, demonstrating some of their capabilities. On the distribution side, obviously a lot of this we need distribution. One of the great examples here, YouTube right now has hundreds of hours of native 8K content available on their platform. On the decoding side, Spin Digital here with Intel demonstrating some of the decoding and playback capabilities of 8K content. And then, of course, you have integration, which we'll be talking about here in just a moment with these three great panelists. AV receivers. All of the major manufacturers have been supporting 8K resolution for their AV receivers for many, many years. And then, of course, on the display side here, as you can see, we have several different displays. Samsung is here demonstrating their displays. We've got JVC demonstrating their projectors. There's a wide variety of available display and projector products for 8K. And so I'd like to introduce to you, everybody, the panelists. We have Krista from AudioQuest. We have Aaron from AVPro. And we have Elibron from BZBGear. So I'd like each of you to go ahead and introduce yourselves and kind of let everybody know your role at your respective organization. Krista, starting with you.
Only because I start with an A, which is fantastic. My name is Krista Haughey, a hard one to pronounce. I am the Senior Director of Sales for North America for AudioQuest, which involves all the field team, the customer service team, the technical support team. And I'm just really happy to be here. This is a really important topic for us.
We're happy to have you. Aaron, take it away.
Yeah, I am Aaron Doughten with AVPro Global. So I am a product manager as the AVPro family of brands, and so I take care of the HDMI distribution equipment, as well as our Meridio brand for doing, analyzing and generation of 8K content, for testing devices, field devices, things like that. As well as our bullet train line, which is our HDMI and USB cable line, with obviously we have 8K capable HDMI cables with that line as well. So I'm in charge of handling all of the distribution, cabling and test and measurement gear at AVPro Global.
Thank you. And Elibron.
Hello everyone, my name is Elibron. I'm with BZBGear. I'm a VP of the sales and been in industry for 15 years, helping integration, designing the product, and introducing 8K ecosystem for 3 years with 8K Association. And I'm happy to discuss and tell about the product and developments that we do to enforce the 8K and higher quality resolutions and clarity of the video and audio signals.
That's great. Welcome, everybody. And so one of the things I'd like to do is start with understanding what are some of the different products and devices that each of your organizations provide. So, Krista, why don't we start with you?
Well, the reason why we're here, we have a lot of HDMI cables, and everything that we produce helps the environment that the integrator is creating. Everything that an integrator brings into a job brings in interference. So our focus is to help reduce that noise level so they can get the best quality that they're looking for their customer. We have everything from cables to HDMI cables, speaker cables, analog cables, power conditioners, surge protection. We have over 7,000 SKUs.
That's quite a bit. Let's go with you, Aaron. Talk to us a little bit about your products and services.
Yeah, so on the HDMI distribution side, AVPro released one of the very first 8K matrix switchers back in 2016. So, we've been promoting this and promoting the adoption of 8K for almost 9 years now. Since then, we've done a lot of work to expand our HDMI matrix switchers, extenders, anything with a really AV distribution with 8K. And then, of course, we have our test and measurement gear with Meridio. So we've got our 8K generators and analyzers that really just help, manufacturers, guys in the field that are actually doing the installs in homes and commercial environments, to verify those signals are good. And then, of course, we have our bullet train line that kind of rounds out that ecosystem for, supporting 8K for integrators, custom installers, people in the field that are doing 8K. So that's what we got.
Oh, that's great. And Elibron.
We have pretty much the same things, cables, video distributions, management. We're doing 8K. Again, we were one of the early adopters of the 8K, and also we are one of the pioneers in 8K, not only for residential applications, for broadcasting, for commercial applications. We are one of the only manufacturers that we have be able to do 8K over IP on 1G solution that provides not only matrixing, sending the signal uncompressed to a destination, but also you can actually do multi-view video wall and KVM solution and support different version of the USBs. You can support higher resolution 8K signals through DisplayPort or USB-C with our product. Here again, we trying to tell the integrators 8K products are available, contents are available. We have the tools that makes it much easier for you to install it in the applications and be future ready for upcoming higher quality resolution pictures, videos, and stuff like that. And also we are happy to provide those educational materials that we have, products that we have for you guys to test them and evaluate them on your end and see if those are something that you can get comfortable with to put them in your client's application.
Thank you for that. So obviously you can see here there's a lot of different types of products that they have available here for the integrators to help deliver 8K across the homes, across commercial segments. And so talking, Krista, you mentioned a little bit before about high quality, low noise. Talk to us about your products, how AudioQuest has always been focused on low noise operation, and how critical is that to delivering 8K signals across a home, across a commercial installation.
Well, long before 8K, we were doing things to help control the noise floor within the environment by blocking out RF interference with our conductors being solid, with our insulation or geometry. And in 2020, we were ready with our 8K cables, and they introduced a whole different visual and audible difference to the whole environment. As I mentioned earlier, the integrator brings in a lot of interference between the lighting design, the control system. I mean, that's just madness on RF interference, and it affects the picture quality that they're going to get. So with our insulation and our solid conductors and the way that we mix all of our ingredients together, that helps them ensure that they're going to get the best audio and video that they can possibly provide to their customer.
That's great. And Aaron, you have your professional series, the 48, gigabit per second cables. You emphasize the use of high-end materials to ensure superior signal conductivity and isolation. So talk to us about how important that is for your products to be able to, isolate and maintain those clean signals.
Well, yeah, exactly like, with the adoption from, going from 1080p 60 to 4K and now into 8K, just when you start pushing the boundaries of, HDMI specifications and all of these standards, we find little holes and little things that we have to consider. So to really hold ourselves to, I think, a little bit higher standard, I guess, as manufacturers and vendors that are selling equipment to make sure that we're able to, do as we advertise, right? Is it 40 gigabits per second? Is it 48 gigabits per second? Can we reach the distances over, HDMI distribution systems? And I think we at AVPro take it very, very seriously to make sure that we can deliver on what we promise. And I think that's the integrity that we bring into it. Is just making sure we can do what we say and help
Trying to make it all work with all
Yeah.
of the things that are there to fight you.
Exactly.
Yeah, understood. And so, Elibron, you have a lot of different solutions and products, cables, working in both the residential and the commercial markets. Talk to us a little bit about how your solutions, help meet the needs of these various vertical markets.
Oh, definitely. So we work with many applications. We look at the market and the problems that they are over there, listening to end users, to integrators, and technology partners. And we look for the solutions to simplify their applications. In BZBGear, we have consumer graded product like switchers, splitters, or for gamers, we have a product that they can take higher 8K resolutions and be able to share their games with other people, also be able to play those games on the TVs. Stuff that we do is like listening to those guys and developing the product. Also, we work with the partners, technology partners, and we work on the developing the technologies that they can help different segment of the industry. For example, we work with the broadcasters. We also work with the gaming developers, finding the ways that they can deliver and high quality resolutions to their customers with lower cost and simplified versions. We, for the integrators over here, we offer various of the solutions like metric switchers, extenders, converters to solve their problems that they have, converting the video feed to audio. So those are the things that we try to do and offer to the partners to resolve their problems. So we look at the stuff as a solution provider, and we find a problem and we try to solve it and deliver those solutions to them.
That's great. And then talking about these installations, we're seeing a lot of different, housing options, condos, new homes, restored homes, commercial. Talk to us a little bit about where you're seeing more growth potential from, your client base. Is it more residential? Is it more commercial? Krista, why don't we start with you?
So residential is where the energy is for AudioQuest. We do still have some commercial applications that we provide cables for, but definitely a lot of energy in residential. Not only do they need to know that they're going to get the best picture quality and sound quality that they're looking for, they need to know it's a reliable solution. And as an integrator, the last thing that you want to do is roll a truck because a simple cable is not working. We make sure that that cable is working so they have the faith and they're going to get the performance, the picture, and the reliability, and then they can move on to the next job. So residential, we're still there no matter what they're doing. Videos, gaming, movies, you name it.
Right, good to know. And Aaron, what's your point of view on that?
I would say we've had pretty steady business with residential, with really the gaming, I think, driving a lot of that with 8K and 4K, high frame rate. But really for us, I think at AVPro, we're really focused on growing the commercial side of it. We do really actually think that's where going to be a lot of the growth is. When you start talking about doing huge 8K boards, in enterprise applications, or hospitality, where you have like the really big big screens really putting on the big games and stuff like that, but then also in medical where you have 8K imaging is going to be good for diagnosing and figuring out issues with people is a very important thing, and I think that's where technology can really truly benefit, and so we're always pushing that market. I think that's where the growth is going to be. Yes, we're selling into residential, but for us commercials, I think is we're going to see the most growth here in the next 2 years, 3 years. That's where it's going to see.
Good to know. Great to hear the different opinions and the different work areas. So, Elibron, let's hear your point of view.
We have the same opinion. Actually, residential has been challenging initially, but now that there are more gaming and more content available, more manufacturers are making more affordable TVs and displays. It's been much easier for us to move the product from 4K to 8K and also be able to offer the solutions that they're looking for. Now they have everything that they needed, from extenders, from the cables, from processors. They are all available. But also, Aaron mentioned about medical applications. Actually, we've been doing the medical applications with 8K for a while, and we are very happy with the results that we see over there. Commercial is growing. Also, we do a lot of works with the 8K through digital signage applications. As you mentioned, LED panels, the processors, they're all producing a 8K or 16K video signals and going to the processors. So we are trying to provide that connection from the computers, the processors, graphic cards, to the TVs and displays, projectors, and that's been good for us. And I think that is increasing, and we see more demands and more actually development in the 8K product in those markets. Also, there is a 8K applications in auto industry, and we do work on a couple applications as well. As you guys know, there are so many autonomous cars, and they are relying on the technologies over there from the cameras and stuff like that. So higher frame rate, it creates a better processing, AI analyzing the video feed. So 8K is also used in those applications.
That's great. And then I keep hearing the term challenges. Each of you talk a little bit about that. And so one of the things I think would be great to talk a little about is let us know about some of the challenges your customers face, the end users face, that you guys are working to help to resolve. Krista, if you could talk a little bit about some of those major challenges you guys deal with.
I think sometimes we have a tendency to overcomplicate things for the consumer, and keeping them more simple and streamlined is our job so they can have the better experience. There are a good amount of people out there that look for the specs and want to know all that nitty gritty, but at the end of the day, the kid playing his game, the family watching the movie, sitting down listening to a good audio system, they want to know that it's going to work and they're going to have the experience that that gear is promising to provide. So having the stability of a good foundation will allow that to happen, and just keep the message simple.
Yeah, if everybody wants that. Nobody wants to deal with an issue. Why is this not working? Why am I getting a wrong signal, etc.? We can all relate to that, I'm sure. Aaron.
Yeah, I would agree with Krista. Education is everything, I think. I think the better people understand a technology, potential challenges, but also having a solution for said challenge, especially from a vendor such as ourselves, right? That's just better for business. And then at the end, I think the end user experience ends up being better. So, it's a train the trainer kind of thing where, we really push the education to our reps and to our sales guys. And I think that ends up just being a better experience for the end user when you have an empowered, knowledgeable, team of people deploying these systems and things like that. So
Yeah, no, absolutely. That makes perfect sense. Elibron.
I agree with everything they mentioned, and technology is advancing. And one thing that I think they find the challenge is in integrators, they are moving slower compared to the technology. Good or bad thing, AI is over there helping to advance the technology, bring more products into the market. It helps to develop more technology or way that we process the things. But unfortunately, what I see is challenging is that dealers integrators are still stuck into the older technology, and they are not willing to move forward with the new products that they are available. I don't see there is a issue with the cost. Everything is actually most of the 8K, we can agree, they are very cost effective, and the price difference is not huge between the 8K product and the 4K product. But the only thing I don't know is why they are not taking the risk and getting into these 8K products and solutions and featuring them for their clients. So that's what I will add more.
you got to build the confidence. You got to build the confidence with the end user. So that's what that's all about. Yeah.
Unfortunately, there are some integrators out there that will say, well, they don't need that. They don't need that yet. This is good enough. And thankfully, there's a huge amount of integrators out there that want to go up to the performance level and make the wow factor. So they tell their friends, and then it continues on from there. So the more that take that leap, fortunately, keeps us in business.
So I hear a lot about, I heard the term education and information, and I think there's so many different connectivity options. You've got Wi-Fi, you've got HD-Base-T, you have HDMI, and all of the different flavors.
Wired.
Yeah, exactly. And What can the industry do to really help to educate and avoid confusion over all of these different types of connectivity options? Krista.
So it still goes back to education, as you said. We make sure that our cables are labeled correctly, they're certified, and that the customer knows that they're going to get the best experience. Again, I said earlier about keeping the message simple to ensure that the customer gets the experience and they can just rest assured that it's going to be good. So clear labeling, clear messaging, and even partnering with other manufacturers to show how we can support each other for the whole entire system.
No, that's great and very, very important. Aaron.
Yeah, so at AVPro, we actually have our own classes and education series that we actually have an office down in St. Pete, Florida, that we host anything from display calibration classes, technology classes, AV over IP classes, you name it, and and 4K distribution and 8K distribution is a part of that. In addition to that, if you don't want to fly down to sunny Florida for a 3-day class. There's also lots of stuff on our YouTube channel. Our knowledge base is very developed. So again, it's giving people resources to educate themselves and push the education, right? That's kind of this. We're beating a dead horse here, but it's just making sure that people have the resources with the correct information, because Google is not right all the time anymore. I wish we could go back to the days where it was, but that ship sailed long ago.
Nobody is using YouTube anymore. ChatGPT is the way.
Yeah, I trust AI about as far as I can throw it. So, yeah,
Jaded with ChatGPT, so.
It's really just just make sure you're getting your knowledge and resources from trusted sources, I guess. And we try to be at the forefront of that and make sure that everybody's speaking the same language, and that gets harder to do all the time. But yeah, that's kind of our mentality at AVPro is to try to have good resources for people to have correct information. So
I want to jump in one more quick second. It's also making sure that the consumers have the experience, making sure that our integrators have the experience. They've witnessed it, they've seen it, they've heard it, so their passion seeps through to their customer.
Elibron.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you mentioned, but also one thing that I believe we can offer as vendors and even AK Association is each product or each technology is designed for a certain application. Unfortunately, most of these technologies are used in a different application that they are not related to that product. One of the things that we can do to help grow this 8K product is to consult with the integrators, installers, and consumers, and direct them to the right solution that is available for them. We see a lot of people are using different methods to do stuff, and they're not getting what they are trying to do, and that's kind of like disappoint them with the technology, and they go back to whatever they know. So I guess consultant and training them and talking to them and telling them from our experience and how we do this stuff, and that will help them to move forward from 4K to 8K and 10K, 16K, or whatever is going to be available in the next couple of years.
No, and it's very exciting and obviously very important. Education, confusion, incorrect settings, incorrect functions. So we want to make sure that the integrators, the consumers, understand exactly what they're doing. And then the consumer, today they're starting to experience these more, immersive viewing experiences. You have things like the Sphere, you have things like Cosm, you've got things that, IMAX, how theatrically they've been coming out with some great titles. People are going to see these large, giant screens. How is the consumer desire for these more immersive experiences helping your segments within this ecosystem? Let's start with you, Elibron.
It's not easy to answer that question. But the one thing is building these educational videos and stuff like that. You can really truly show the difference in the quality from 4K, 8K, or HD. But these trade shows, and as you mentioned, we have, if you walk to the Times Square, you're gonna see the huge LED panels over there. So if you're using a 480 signal or HD signal across over there, you're gonna see every single pixel, right? But what I'm thinking is probably one of the things we can do with the consumers is bring these technologies to them, to the shows that they are usually go, or to the places that they go. one of the great places that they can see the difference between these applications is sport bars. Unfortunately, when you walk into the sport bars, they still locked into 720p distribution, and uh, customers, they go to those sport bars and they see or view those content in a lower resolution. They get disappointed. They move to the different places, or even the residential markets. We have a lot of products, and we have some products that they are not properly set up and they are not calibrated properly, and they create some different experience for customers. So if we can teach the end users or consumers to adjust those settings or those little trick the stuff properly, they can get the better resolutions and willing to develop or develop their products into higher quality or higher resolutions.
Yeah, thank you for that. And Aaron, talk to us a little bit about, the consumers wanting more of that outside immersive experience in their homes.
Yeah, I think you kind of nailed it on the head when you said bringing it home. It's when like we do a lot of bring the sports bar home, or bring the home theater or the movie theater experience home. And I think the more native 8K content that's there, or you mentioned the Sphere, that is like an absolute showcase of technology,
16K,
and melt your face off type performance. And that's the kind of stuff where I like to see like those technology showcases to really wow people. Like, you're not going to get a Sphere in your house, but I mean, that'd be really cool. But when you think about that, is providing those kinds of unique experiences, and then us as vendors being able to, maybe not replicate it exactly, but definitely get them a taste of those kinds of experiences that they wouldn't normally be able to experience every day. So, whether it's a super high-end home theater system, or any eye-popping visual imagery, that's really what I like to see, and I think the Sphere is probably like one of the best examples you could have used. But that kind of stuff really allows consumers to go, oh wow, hey, I love this. This is actually cool. It's not just yet another format. They really want to bring it home. So I think that's where it's at.
Can I add one more thing? So, unfortunately, now we see all the cable boxes are going away. Everything is IP streaming. One thing that I think it will benefit us is having the YouTube TV or Amazon Prime, Netflix, to push the content that they already have in 8K to the consumers. In that way, they can actually see the difference between the quality of the images, and they want to upgrade to 8K. This is my personal experience. I was in love with Top Gear, and then because of the Top Gear ended, and then went to Amazon with the new one, and it was shoot first time for 4K, and it was actually they were streaming at 4K. I threw away my HD TV and I bought the 4K TV so I can see that, and it was a huge difference between that. So that's something that I think we should do. We should push on the content provider or content distributor, IP content distributor, to provide those available content that they are in 8K. We talked about the Tokyo Olympic Games. They were all shoot 8K, right? We discussed that at NAB. It was distributed across all the TV stations across the world, 8K. But from there, it was distributed to the homes, at theaters, and everywhere else at 720p. So if we can push those content distributors to do that, to provide a higher resolution content, I think it would be great for us.
No, that's a great point. But your comment about the cable boxes going away, I don't think anybody's really too sad about that. But moving on, Krista, your point of view from that.
I think everything is consumer driven, and everyone wants a more immersive experience in their home. And to have a homeowner get that experience for the first time and see that, I don't need to go to the movie theater anymore. I have everything I need here visually and audibly. And that's really important. And they're going to continue to want more from us. So again, it's educating the educator and making sure everybody has the information that they need to make everything complete in the system, and working with our partners. So again, they don't know what they don't know. And most consumers don't know half of what we know. We're not normal people up here. We have way too much knowledge to be dangerous, right? So our job is to let them know what's possible, make sure the integrator knows what's possible, and then they filter it down the consumer, and then they filter it to their friends, and it just keeps growing from there.
No, that's great, and you touched on something that I wanted to talk about in regards to this immersive experience, and what can we as an industry do to help manufacturers, dealers, integrators, even the customers learn more and take more advantage of this 8K immersive experience in the home. You want to continue on that one, Krista?
So we have to be present. We have to be where they are so they can get the information from us. And whether it's a trade show or it's in their showrooms, because people are looking for a lifestyle environment, something that they can see themselves with their family in. So when they walk into a showroom and it's a kitchen environment, and then it moves over into the common room, it's not always a big theater. It could be a variety of applications. They need to be able to visualize themselves in that environment for it to work.
Yeah, and your thoughts on that, Aaron?
Yeah, I would have to echo that. The showroom experience, I think, is a huge piece of it. And even, consumer electronics stores are starting to almost take that shape now, which has got to be one of the smartest things they could have done for themselves. But, we work really closely with a couple different stores that do that exact same thing. And to echo, like, what we've been saying is, like, you literally have to sit them in the seat and go, okay, this is what you could have at home. And if you can provide that experience in a way that's, affordable or not, I guess in that case, they just want the experience, I think is, what we as manufacturers are trying to provide. And yeah, if they can, see it and believe it, they'll obviously adopt it and want it in their homes. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And Elbron.
I'm with Aaron on that one. If you walk to the Best Buy or you walk to the other retail stores, you can't really see the difference between the 8K or 4K TVs because they are not set up properly over there. And also, another thing is most of the people start buying stuff online without knowing what they are buying, actually. We as a professional, sometimes we go see the titles are made for certain applications. It has a big words over there, 8K TV. Okay, that's good. Let's dig in. We can go back and see the specs and see what the specs are telling you. Is that really 8K or is it like a 4K?
And it's not just the TV all by itself.
Yeah, it is like everything that you have to put together to get that. But again, if we can have better showrooms at the retail stores, that will help us a lot. That will help the end users to make their decisions. They want to see the different frame rates. If you walk into the stores, you don't see any content displaying over there is representing that TV's capability. Some of them, they are 8K, some of them are 4K, some of them are actually HD video feeds that they are played through entire store. And you go there, some TVs are looking brighter, but the content over there is not really what we are trying to show to the consumers. I guess it should be optimized properly so people can see the differences and they can then also it's I don't know it's this is good or bad. The people that they are actually retail stores, unfortunately, they don't have that proper educations and they don't have that knowledge that they can deliver to the consumers. So I think we should start over there. If we want to be successful, we have to have the people with the educations, with the training at those stores. It starts from there. If I need TV, I go to that store. I trust that salesperson to give me something that what I want. If we can teach them so they can tell the differences between their TVs, not the brand wise, like the technology wise, that would be great.
No, that's great. And you keep, talking about TV, television, projectors. It's that end product, that end device, and how important that is, and how they're just getting bigger and larger. Your average screen size now is 75. We had JVC on a panel earlier talking about how their projector can achieve 200 inches. These are massively large screens, amazing viewing experiences, making it very, very immersive. So as a last question, I'd like to hear from each of you and your own personal level of excitement around 8K and bringing that 8K immersive experience to the home. Let's start with you, Krista.
Can I use my own home as an experiment?
Absolutely, please do.
So my husband has not been raised in this industry. And when we bought our home in 2016, going through the pre-wire process and showing him what was possible, he's the one I referenced to where he said, I don't have to go to the movies anymore. All of these cables can't make a difference. And once everything was installed and he got to see and hear and experience, in addition to, he plays guitar. So before the system was installed with all the AudioQuest cabling, he just played by himself. Once the system was installed, he was playing with the system. So he had his own concert experience, and that's the ultimate satisfaction. I play with our cables all the time to see what the comparison is, to see how this one looks better than this one or sounds better than this one. Fortunately, I live in California where I have a closet for a house, and I don't have to have significant runs to get things sampled, but that's the ultimate goal, is when people get to see something that they didn't know was possible inside their own home.
That's great. When you hear somebody say going through the pre-wiring phase, you know they're an industry professional here. Aaron.
Yeah, I would have to echo what Krista said. I think it's my own experience kind of drives it a little bit. But any of the LED walls, like the modular LED walls that are starting to get, I wouldn't say affordable, but when you can make a wall like really pop and have the contrast and the color and everything that I see, like even walking this show floor, I get like really amped up about that. It's one thing to have like a flat panel TV, but to like, if it was a display that was like shipped in a cube and you assemble it on a wall and it's like literally an experience, that I get like super excited about. And so like where that technology is going to go, like just the display side of it, to be backed by 8K and then surround systems and all this, that experience in a home is what I would like to get to in my lifetime. Like we'll see if that actually happens, but anyway, I see that kind of stuff and I get super pumped up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and you talked about price. Obviously, those big walls are not cheap, but it's so interesting that you could go into a store now and find a 100-inch TV for under $2,000, which is amazing. Elibron, your point on this?
Same thing. You have those big TVs. You have a phone in your pocket. You go places. You shoot videos and you shoot pictures. You come home and you want to see those as you saw them in person. Show them to other people. Share them. That's only possible when you have a proper TV or proper displays. So I think we should get ready to move to a better. We should ask ourselves for a better things. If we have the things, we should try them and we should get them. We deserve that.
That's great. So as you heard here, there's a lot going on the integration side and how important it is, the right cabling, the right cover, conduit, etc. So many factors that go into making sure that end-to-end experience from the consumer, from the source, all the way through the cabling, through the devices, and into the display, into the AVRs is so important. And we have some professionals over here telling us all about that. So I'd like to thank you all for your time, for the exciting topics that we talked about here today. We appreciate it. And I'd like to thank you all for coming and joining in on this great session. I hope you all enjoy the rest of the CEDIA Expo. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.